I will formally begin. So let's see if this works. Welcome to this call. I am Nadia Colburn, and I often bring together writing and meditation, mindful writing, and also embodied writing. So I really like to connect with the body. So we're bringing the mind and body together. And you can see more about me on my website, nadiacolburn.com, and also through some of my classes. My online class with writing, yoga, and meditation, Align Your Story, is going to be beginning next Friday. And I can tell you more about that. You can just reach out to me with any questions. But for today, let's begin. I will ring the bell again. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a few minutes of meditation that I'll guide you in, and then writing time. And every 15 minutes, we'll come back together with some more meditation and more writing time. So you can use this writing time or this meditation time for anything that you want. This is really your time for yourself. And at the heart of what I do is try to give you the tools that you need so that you can tune into yourself and listen to what you need. And my suggestions are always suggestions. So if there's a project that you're working on, you can work on that project in this writing time. And what happens when we meditate or do some of these exercises or listen to some other writing is that we get out of our habitual mindset and we have new ways of approaching old problems or new ways of approaching new possibilities, and open up our creative centers, those places, that creative place from which change happens. So, as I said, I'll lead you right after the meditations with some suggested prompts, but you can follow your own prompts if you prefer. Come to a comfortable seated position. Feel that your spine is nice and straight. Take a nice, long, deep in-breath. Connect with that breath. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Let's take a few long, deep breaths together. If your mind wanders, just notice that and come back to the breath. Now I want to just invite you to move a little bit. Just move your shoulders. Maybe you want to shake out a little bit. Move your head, move your hands. So often we're really silent in meditation and not moving. It can be really nice to just shake, get things going. If you want to stand up, you can stand up. If you want to move away from your computer screen, you can move away from your screen for a minute. And I want to invite you to spend just a few more minutes moving your body. And as you're moving, ask your body if there's any part that wants to tell you something. And I'm going to give you an age. That age is 6. And when you go to write, see if you can write from that 6-year-old self who's aware or in connection in a different way from the way we are now, perhaps, with our body and with that body part. And you can either write directly to that 6-year-old, or you can write in the voice of the 6-year-old, or you can write a poem or a short story or a journal entry about that 6-year-old. And whatever her or maybe his relationship is with that body part that's speaking to you today as you're moving. So that's my suggested prompt for you. Just see what happens. And if there's something that you're kind of working on or struggling with in your life at this moment, or hoping some door will open, it might almost be interesting to see what that 6-year-old has to say, that 6-year-old connected to the body has to say about that. There might be surprising connections. And can you remember that 6-year-old voice? Sometimes it's really spunky. Take another minute to finish up this segment. And of course, you can always return to whatever you're working on now after the next meditation. Come back to your breath. Come back to your body. And I'll try to remind you next time as you're writing to stay connected. Let's breathe together again for a few minutes. Or maybe just a few breaths. I was thinking about, I wanted to read a poem, and I was thinking about Song of Myself, which begins, I celebrate myself and sing myself, and what I assume you shall assume, for every atom belonging to me as good belongs to you. And that, of course, is Whitman. And he has such a big voice, and he's talking so much about the body and about the particular body and about the body's connection to everyone else. And that can be problematic in a lot of ways. I feel like for me, reading this poem as a woman, I've worked with the poem in many different ways over the years. So I was looking through Song of Myself again, looking for the part that I wanted to share with you. And I wanted to share, I decided, the last section. And I want to share this section with you because the voice is so energetic. And so sometimes we really quiet our mind, we come back to our breath, we get to a really quiet place. And from that quiet place, we can have more energy to really explore the full range of our voice. And that's partly why I wanted to get you in touch with that 6-year-old self, because that's often a different voice from the voice we're using today. So we have a bigger range with our voice. So this is the last section of Whitman's Song of Myself. The spotted hawk swoops by and accuses me. He complains of my gab and loitering. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. I sound my barbaric yawp over the roofs of the world. The last scud of day holds back for me. It flings my likeness after the rest, and true as any on the shadowed wilds. It coaxes me to the vapor and the dusk. I depart as air. I shake my white locks at the runaway sun. I effuse my flesh in eddies and drift it in lacy jags. Self dirt, throw from the grass I love. If you want me again, look for me under your boot soles. You will hardly know who I am or what I mean, but I shall be good health to you nevertheless, and filter and fiber your blood. Failing to fetch me at first, keep encouraged. Missing me one place, search another. I stop somewhere, waiting for you. So I invite you to go back to your writing and see if you can speak in a different voice. Maybe here he's speaking in the voice really of the dead, speaking back to us today, the living. What different voice can you take on? And can it be a triumphant voice? Or maybe it doesn't want to be triumphant today. What does it want to be today? And I'm just going to read one line section. I too am not a bit tamed. I too am untranslatable. So see what you can do with that. Finish up what you're working on now. Knowing, of course, that you can continue in a few moments. Come back to your body. Come back to your breath. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I'm enjoying my out breath. I'm going to invite you to do a little bit of suspended breath breathing. So we're going to breathe in, just comfortably breathe in. And at the top of the breath, just hold that breath. Stay very relaxed, so don't tense. Just in a relaxed way, hold the breath. Feeling that expansion in your lungs, in your belly. When it gets uncomfortable, instead of breathing out, see if you can breathe in just a little bit more. And then when it really feels like too much, breathe out. And at the bottom of the breath, again, hold the breath out in that suspended exhale. And then when that feels uncomfortable, enjoy that in-breath. Really enjoy bringing that air into your body. And at the top of the breath, again, in a relaxed state, just hold it, suspended. This is a very powerful breath if you do it without anxiety, just with a relaxed body, in resetting the nervous system, both the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. It's a very healing, powerful exercise. And it gets us out of, again, the same pathways of thinking and of interacting with our bodies so that we can set the stage for new patterns and new openings. So I invite you just to practice with this breath for a little while. It's a good breath you can practice throughout your day. If you're stuck in traffic, just do a few suspended breath rotations. Remember to be gentle and loving with yourself. It's not a competition or a race. And when you've had enough, I invite you to go back to your writing. See if what you have done in these different sessions wants to build on one another or just continue. And I'm also going to give you 6 words because this has been interesting when I've done this in the past. So the 6 words that I chose were now, not, pencil, dragon, sail, and cake. And for those of you on the computer, I'll write them in the chat box, but I'll say them again first. Now, not, pencil, dragon, sail, cake. See what you can do with those words. And I like to give just random words because it opens up new windows, allows you to go in different directions than you would normally have gone, and sometimes say something that's more true because that random word comes in than what you would have done otherwise. And have a good time with this. And remember to stay connected to your body and to your breath. And reconnect with your body and your breath. And smile. And maybe finish up the sentence that you're working on. And then we'll have a few minutes to share if you want or ask questions.
I'll share.
Okay, great. Is that Simon?
Yep.
I'm glad you can make it on the call.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to begin?
Yeah. Okay, so this is called Pencil Sail Dragon. Set sail with me. Not now, but right now. All you need is your pencil and some cake for the hunger, but I urge you to fill your hunger with written words, sane and absurd, from horse-led wagons to fighting dragons. Your imagination is your greatest ally in this war against indifference. In fact, we want to find out our difference, not turn it in. Here's to out difference. Don't turn your identity in as if it were a crime. Don't hang your head as you share yourself. Take the pencil. Fuck it, bring your cake too. You'll fly and then be glad you flew.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love your rhymes.
Thanks.
We definitely need more imagination and more just people stepping out with who they really are, that courage of imagination. The cake, the pencil, and the dragon. Thank you. Anyone else also feel free to respond. Or to share. Just, you can unmute yourself. Do you know how to do that?
There's a little button in the top right corner of your screen if you bring your finger up to it.
Thanks, Simon. I got it undone.
Great.
It's short. It's true. You can't have your cake and eat it too. Not now, not ever. Even if a dragon comes sailing in with an enormous cake, you cannot keep your cake whole if you choose to have it for breakfast. But this is a silly story that is not written in pencil, but in pen. So here it is, not being able to be erased. Is this also a form of not being able to have your cake and eat it too?
Thank you. I love the questions. And it's really interesting, the relationship actually between cooking, eating, creating, reading, listening. There's some interesting relationships. Thank you.
Hi, it's Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
Thanks for everybody's sharing. I guess I'll read this one. It was thundering here. I don't know if it was thundering anywhere else while we did this. So I too am not.
Sorry, are you on the phone or on a computer?
Oh, I'm on the phone. Is this better?
Okay, that's fine. No, that's fine. I just wanted, if you were on the computer, I wanted to make sure we could see you. But
okay.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I too am not at all light, as in airy. I am heavy, all 140 pounds of me. I weigh the weight of the earth. I am the earth, yes. I, the nervous, meek one, weighs tons. And with this weight I speak, not from my meekness, but from the thunder rising out of the wet granite, the stones, the mud that know the truth. I too speak truth. I too cut rivers through stone with my tongue so the water can flow from the earth's heart to her belly, from her heart to the sky, where her lightning hair flails and nails claw and strike like the great mother lion protecting her lair, her cubs. I too curl up with these cubs of mine, circle around them with hills and mountains of love.
Nice.
Fun.
Love that repetition from Whitman, that permission to have that strength, to have that force. Yes.
Thank you, Whitman.
Great. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you. You know, one thing that's really nice, I don't mean to be touting my course too much, but one thing that's really nice about that community is that you can share your work and then share it so people can read it and comment on it, and such a nice community. So if any of you wanted to share more, I invite you to come on there. And I'd love to hear from someone who is maybe hasn't worked with me before, is new to this. I really want to invite you to feel comfortable, you know, no pressure at all, but just really feel welcome and comfortable sharing.
I can share my story if you'd like to hear.
Great, thank you. And you want to just say your name quickly?
Oh, my name is Anita, and I'm from Norway, so my English might not be perfect, but you know, I've done my best here. So we'll see. Now is not a moment to stop. It's a moment to stay. Not keeping the dragon in the castle, locked up and angry. She needs to fly to use her energy so she can be powerful and brave. She's not so scary, really, only if she's locked up, strapped down, fed only cakes so her mind goes and never keeps still. She's a master, show her masterpieces with a pencil, her brushes, her power. She doesn't have time to be still anymore. She needs to come out of her prison now. Otherwise, her fire will be too loud, too hard, too fiery. Because she's really can be gentle. The little voice inside of her is gentle. But she's so scared that everyone would be afraid of her, afraid she will eat them, outshine them, outstand them. All she wants is her space, her time, her moments. She's a master. She needs to be able to show. Now is the time. No more cakes. They only make her forget. She needed to forget for a while. Not anymore. She needs to take a pencil, draw the wonderful things she wants to show the world and play. And the sales will go up, skyrocketing, because there is where the gold is buried. The pencil is also a brush. She doesn't have to choose. The dragon must show and use her pencil now.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
And I felt like it, first of all, I love the now, hearing the now come again and again. And I felt like that was really connecting that past self to the present and a future self. Maybe that 6-year-old dragon who has so much power, she doesn't quite know what to do with it, and letting her know it's okay to come out again. Through that creativity.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. Maybe one more? Or any questions that anyone has, or comments. Or just a conversation if you want in the last few minutes that we have. So I'll just talk a little bit, but you feel free to interrupt me. I was writing about alignment because that's like one of my big themes. And I was really able to connect in a different way with that childhood self. I just feel like whatever I do, I need to have that connection, or else it's not fully grounded. And even if the connection is a connection of total change, still understanding that pathway so that there's still like the crumbs going from the house to back to the house. Is really helpful. And again, thank you really all for being here. Thank you for, I feel like there's just a great collective presence, even though we're over this screen or the phones or whatever it is, we're all together in this moment of time doing this really cool work. And I really think that this work is revolutionary on just like a fundamental level, like not a violent level, but if each of us can unleash that power that we have within us to be authentically ourselves and to listen to our voices, as all of you I know are doing, then that's where change comes from. And that's the kind of change we need. I mean, there's so many different ways we can have change that are top down or just going in the wrong direction. And it's like that one step at a time, listening to your voice, listening to your creative self, coming back to your breath and your body. All of us doing that together. It's like the little blades of grass that grow up through the cracks in the sidewalk. They look so delicate, but they're so powerful. And it only takes a little bit of time for that sidewalk, if it's not tended to become a field of grass again. So Was someone going to say something?
Thanks, Nadia. That's the part of me that's missing. I don't connect to the body. There is no body in this body. So I am appreciating even the little twinges I'm feeling. There is no coincidences in this world.
Thank you. And connect through the breath. The breath is a really good way to connect into the body. It's all, just little step. Just keep faith turning in that direction without judgment. Just little step by little step. Thank you so much. Thank you all for being here. I am going to be leading this again next Friday, same time, same place. I'll send out a reminder. Feel free to invite friends. I'll send out a recording, so feel free to continue to practice with the recording. I will also, go back to what you've written today and see what else you want to do with it. They're often interesting little insights in our writing, that we know things before we know them, and they come out in our writing. I mean, I found this so many times that I'll look back and I'll say, wow, how did I know that all those years ago? I just didn't know that I knew it. So it can be interesting to read over what you wrote and see what's there. And as I said, I hope you'll join me again next Friday. And reach out to me over email with any questions, or if you want information about any of my courses or any of the other work that I do. And you can see more on my website as well, which is NadiaColburn.com, NadiaColburn.com. So have a wonderful rest of the afternoon and have a wonderful weekend too. Thank you all again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nadia.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.